Hey guys, so in this video I want to share with you a revelation that I just received from God, and it really answers a lot of questions that I used to wonder before, and now I see what really is going on. So it is something that I've noticed in like different parts in the world. However, I really noticed this here because I live in Japan, so in Japan. And what it is basically this this opinion that people have to kind of behave the same way, right? So everyone has to be the same. And maybe it's not as strong in Europe or US, but here in Japan this is a very strong opinion, and people tend to not like those who tend to stick out, and stick out as in to be different, to be unique, right? So everyone has to be the same. This is a very strong opinion that is here, and I always didn't quite understand why. Because I mean, isn't it wonderful when we are different, when we have our uniqueness, when we have our unique things? And so but in this society what happens is that if someone sticks out, people don't like this person, so they start saying things against the person. They start to bully the person and things like that. And so this is why everyone is the same. This is why everyone behaves the same. And so because they are scared that people will not like them, and so they behave the same way. And even this goes so deep that they even have this saying, right? It's a proverb, and it goes like, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. So it goes deep down into the culture, and basically what it means, if it's like, as a person, if you stick out, if you are different, if you do something different, if you think differently, if you speak differently, then you're a bad guy and we have to hammer you down, right? And so this is what happens to those who are different. And also because of this, a lot of people who, for example, have talents or something, in something, they don't want to show these things. They don't want to, because they don't want to stick out. They don't want to look different. So for example, at school, among children, if some child has some talents in some certain thing, the child will not show that they have the talent, and they will kind of pretend that there's something they don't understand, or like they will literally play along so that other people would not hate them, right? So it goes as deep as this into the thing, and yeah, so I was, I just had this revelation. So it is deep in the culture in Japan, but I suppose that we could relate this to other places as well, where people really, don't like when someone starts to stick out, and so they will do their best to pull them down. So yeah, I guess this goes to, I guess like other chosen ones have similar stories where they started to elevate, and so they got betrayed by a lot of people. And personally, this experience, it was really exactly here in Japan, and so I really experienced a lot of people to betray me. And I'm already sticking out, because a foreigner, right? I look different, so I already stick out. But I got used to the looks, but especially when I started to elevate, especially when, you know, people started noticing me, like, because I would sing at concerts, there would be posters of my concerts and all that, and this is where haters would come in and all that. So, but yeah, so that's one thing. But the revelation, okay, what I just saw was, so I will just kind of jump to a little bit of a different place, okay? So I want to talk about the Matrix. So it's basically, in the movie Matrix, it's like what happens is people are asleep, right? They are asleep and they're plugged into this matrix, into this machine, right? And they don't know that they are asleep, and they don't know that the reality that they live is actually not real, because really they are asleep and they are plugged into the machine, and they're just like watching a dream, right? So here's the revelation. So the society that we are in is the matrix, right? So people are plugged into this matrix, and they're plugged into this matrix, and they're influenced by these certain things and certain factors, right? So they are in this dream, in this matrix, and they're literally asleep, okay? They're controlled by certain factors that are in the matrix. And so people who stick out, they are not in the matrix. People who stick out, they are themselves, they are different, they think differently, right? And so this proverb that if a nail sticks out, it has to be hammered in, is basically created on purpose to sort of keep everyone stuck in this matrix. So the devil wants to keep everyone in the matrix really strong. So then if people notice that there's someone who's sticking out, who's not like everyone else, who is thinking differently, who is doing things differently, they will literally pull them back in, right? They will hammer this person back into the matrix, and hey, be like everyone, do everything like everyone, like exist in this fake reality, right? And so yeah, this is how it is. So this is how people are enslaved, because they are literally plugged into this reality. And I could really feel, this difference. I could really feel this difference, God really showed me this. I was just looking through the window, and I was just looking at things, and it was like this the whole time. It was like this even when I was a child. I was, looking outside my window. And it's very interesting because the view that I have now is actually quite similar to what the view I had back home. And I'm like in Japan, and it's like so interesting how God works. And so this really helped me to go back to that time. And so I remember watching from the window, and I remember seeing all these busy people, all these cars, all that life kind of, all that business go on outside the window. And here I was just sitting and looking through the window, and it was exactly the same kind of view. And like all these busy cars, like people like are going somewhere, they're busy. There's this place, you know, like a Japanese casino place. But yeah, but like it's all that, but it's like, and so what kind of thing, you know? So it's like when you're not in this matrix, all of this kind of doesn't feel like it's yours, like it's in it, like it's your place to be, right? So it's like when you are in the matrix, it's like you're playing this game, it's like you are in this reality, in this game, right? But when you are out of it, it kind of feels like you're not, like you don't belong there, like you're apart, like you're set apart, right? Like you're not, like you can go there if you want to, but it's like you don't have to be a part of it. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, but so I was thinking, you know, if I would just go out there and I would not kind of plug into this whole thing, I would just do something completely different, completely independent, I think a lot of people would just get really mad at me, because I would like really stick out, you know, and so they would get triggered. So this explains why so many people get triggered when not only you do something different, but you also succeed. And this is also because they want out of this matrix too. I think they hate being in this matrix, but they don't understand. Like they're plugged into it so strongly that it's maybe scary, I don't know, to get out of it or something like that. So matrix is very real, and you know, like all these new agers, they say like, hey, you wake up in the matrix and all that, but all they do, they just teach you a bunch of spiritual satanic things. But now I really felt what this plugging out, what it really feels. What it really feels is like not belonging in this world, and for real not belonging, like for real, you know, being present, being here, and just seeing how all this busy world is just moving all over the place, but like I'm not a part of it, and I don't even understand what those people doing and why they're doing all that, you know. So yeah, and so like I was saying, if I would just go out and do something completely random, something really different, that would really trigger and anger a lot of people. So matrix is very real, and people who are trying to, you know, hammer those nails down, people who try to pull those people down are actually making a huge mistake, because they are supposed to be following those people, because people who are sticking out, they're free, they're not in the matrix. So if you want to be free, you need to be like these people, otherwise you will be enslaved in this system that is you know, that is going down the destruction. So this is the revelation that I received, and it was very interesting. And so the real programming, the real thing is basically the devil, right? And the matrix created by the devil for people to exist. And so people like chosen ones are like literally glitches. We're literally glitch, and people who are so plugged into this matrix get really triggered, and they're just like they don't like it, and people get angry, and so this explains it so well. So yes, we all need to unplug from the matrix. It's time. It's time to unplug. It's time to get free. Because the reality, we are controlled not by people precisely, but by the principalities, by the forces. And that is the devil, that is the dark forces. There's all kinds of forces out there, and they're the deceivers. And the matrix that people are plugged into so strongly are basically deceived. It's a deception world, it's a matrix. So, yes, this is the revelation that I saw. I thought it's really deep, and yeah, it's very interesting. So, try to observe things and just know if someone is sticking out, it's actually a gift from God. You know, these people that are glitches, they are here to help others wake up to the matrix. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I will see you next time.